Only 42% of D.C. murder cases were closed after criminologists say it could all get worse. Joining me now is civil rights attorney Brian Claypool on this disturbing trend in Washington. Brian, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Only 2 out of every 5 murders are considered closed in Washington. What does that tell you about 2 things? The police force, their detective unit, and also the prosecutors in D.C.?
Well, David, good to be with you. And shame on the Washington, D.C. City Council. They're trying to blame these unsolved crimes on people in the community who are failing to cooperate in these criminal investigations because of the defund the police movement. I don't see any evidence of that at all, David. What I see is a D.C. City Council that after the George Floyd murder, they started defunding the police in Washington, D.C., number 1. And then number 2, Mayor Bowser came out recently and she said, hey, we got to hire more police officers in D.C. What did the D.C. City Council do? They said, thumbs down. We're not going to hire any more police departments. So this is at their doorstep. These crimes aren't being solved because there's not enough police officers on the street to investigate these crimes. And it's pathetic.
Well, and we should mention, by the way, that the D.C. saw the murder rate go way up in 2020. It went up from 2019, 19%. And then in 2021, it went up from 2020 as well. We see this one, 14% increase in homicides. I mean, this is a city, like many cities in the United States right now, in crisis. Even the mayor, even though the mayor is on the left of the political spectrum, she wants an increase in police funding. But as you mentioned, the D.C. Council is not doing it. I mean, it's very similar to what we have in New York, what they have in L.A., where the councils and these very radical, we should mention, prosecutors who don't want to prosecute anybody for violent crimes are going against the will of the people.
Yeah, David, you're correct. You have a perfect storm in cities like D.C. and Los Angeles. What do I mean by that? Well, we're not going to hire more police officers. What does that tell criminals? Hey, I can go out and commit a crime. I might not be prosecuted. It gets worse. Then you have prosecutors like in D.C., L.A. It's horrible out here in L.A., where the prosecutor, George Gascon, is not prosecuting heavily criminals. That gives criminals, David, a hall pass to go out and commit crimes. There are no consequences for the crime. So we need to get back to funding the police. We need to get back to prosecutors that believe in justice, who will hold these criminals accountable and not give them an incentive to commit serious crime.
But, you know, when 58% of a city's murder cases are open, that means that 58% of the perps in those cases, of the murderers themselves, are still out there, and many of them are probably going to commit another murder, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the tragedy in all of this. There are only 3,500, little over 3,500 police officers in D.C. After George Floyd, they cut police officers in Los Angeles. The sheriff out here in Los Angeles is doing an incredible job, Sheriff Villanueva, despite a cut in law enforcement, despite prosecutors, too, that simply will not take serious crime and hold these criminals accountable. And David, don't believe this left-wing radical rhetoric that says, oh, well, it's because of the defunding police movement, people aren't cooperating. There was a 6-year-old girl in D.C. murdered in the summer. You show me evidence that a witness didn't cooperate with law enforcement. People across the U.S. have a good heart. They want to cooperate and try to solve crimes. This has nothing to do with people not wanting to help the police. This has everything to do with not enough police.
Do you see any situation, we only have 10 seconds, of the situation getting better? Any signs that the situation will get better?
Yeah, absolutely. Us talking about it today, the D.C. City Council will need to hire more police officers, bottom line.
All right, Brian Claypool, great to see you again, Brian. Thank you very much for being here.